Let's make this climate crisis a climate crisisn't.
Hi, I'm Michael Oppenheimer, professor of geosciences at Princeton University.
Hi, I'm David Cross, and I am not a scientist, so you can trust me. Joking.
The climate crisis is no longer a matter of scientific projections or partisan politics. It's well and truly here. Heat records are being broken all around the world. In fact, last year was the hottest year since the industrial era began.
Translation, the shit is hitting the fan. And the fan is on maximum.
Millions of us have experienced extreme weather events ourselves, from hurricanes to flooding to wildfires. Global warming makes many such events much more frequent, as well as significantly more devastating.
Pretty soon, Netflix are going to switch all their disaster movies into their documentaries section.
These unprecedented weather events are already occurring at 1.5 degrees Celsius of warming. Most scientists anticipate we're heading for 2 degrees at the very least, if not 3 degrees. So what we're seeing today is just the beginning.
If the difference between 1.5 and 3 doesn't sound like a lot, it's because we need new numbers. Fucked? Totally fucked. Dead? Question mark?
At this rate, we'll see cascading real-life impacts, including crop failure, food shortages, extreme heat, as well as huge economic costs, not the least in the insurance markets.
You may not give a shit about the polar bears, but I'll bet you give a shit about your home insurance going through the roof.
To limit these devastating impacts, we first of all need to stop burning fossil fuels. We need to ramp it down, but instead we're now expanding production.
I knew drill baby drill wasn't sensible policy. I knew it.
There is actually no need to keep drilling when innovative technologies like solar and wind are now proven and affordable, and in fact will power the dominant economies of tomorrow.
China? Well, they're cracking on. They're not stupid. Am I saying we are? Yes.
One of the main reasons we're failing to act is that oil, gas, and coal companies don't have to pay for the pollution they create. Instead, they can spend the money on lobbying politicians on both sides of the aisle.
The fossil fuel companies have known about this since the 70s, and they have covered up the evidence. This is an actual fucking conspiracy.
We're at a critical point in human history with a short window before things spin out of control. At this rate, we're not going to pass on to our kids the same incredible Earth on which we've thrived.
The planet is a precious legacy that is our solemn duty to pass on to AI. Oh, our children? Oh.
Polls show 74% of us want the government to do more to fight global warming, including many who voted Republican. We all need to step up the pressure. Go and meet your representatives or call them and tell them you fully expect them to act on climate change. They still care about your vote.
The fossil fuel guys are up your congressman's ass. You need to get in there too, all of you. Don't worry, there's plenty of room.
Act now. Later is too late.
What he said, but with the word fuck in it. There you go.
No, that's not mine.
It came out of your pocket. No,
Wouldn't
you love
be
Slim
surprising.
Jims. You said to me, I love Slim Jims.
Americans are in the right place with regard to doing the right thing on a problem like climate change. The problem has been leadership has been chaotic and inconsistent.
We tend to tackle a problem after we've suffered the enormous consequences of it.
They're problems which are solvable.
Is there a role for humor to help get the message across?
There's no doubt about it. I mean, you got to talk to people like they're normal people, and people have a sense of humor even about some fairly grim things.
Right.
You know, you think a bunch of scientists are going to convince people? Scientists are not geniuses at communicating anything but science, and some of them aren't even that good at communicating science. We need more people like you.
Well, it's an interesting point, specifically the positive things you've said about me.
Mother Nature will win eventually, basically, because the evidence will be so undeniable. You can't beat reality.